Hello, welcome back to the stream. How is everyone doing? Hello, Brian. Good morning. Good to see you again. Alright, so today's stream is going to be mostly bug fixing. So I've got my to-do list all set up here. I've got a number of bugs that need to be addressed. Probably add a tooltip to the player stats screen. I'll show you what I mean by that in just a little bit. I've got some issues with the placement of the gun previews in those assembled gun ingots, and got to fix some issues with the snake as well. So lots of stuff to do. Probably will be able to get most or all of this done, and if there's time I kind of want to start working on this one where stamina gets used as health, and that's a passive. So I am, yeah, very curious to see how much we can get done here. But before I get into it, I would like to remind everyone that if you want to support my work, I've got all of my links in the description below. Most notably, I've got the Udemy courses that you can purchase if you're interested in learning how to build a complete game in the Godot engine. It's a great way to support me. It's a great way to get kickstarted learning Godot if that's something that you're interested in. And also, you can wishlist Gunforged and play the demo on Steam. Gunforged will be out in a couple of months here. Originally, I was hoping end of January, but maybe that will end up getting moved to end of February. So it's coming out soon. I keep moving the dates around, but that's only because I want the game to be as good as possible before it releases. I'm not increasing the scope at all. It's just the things that I need to get done for the game are just taking a while to get right. So it will come out when it comes out, but it's definitely going to be out within the first quarter of next year. So that's the plan. And yeah, without further ado, I guess, let's go ahead and get right into it. Before I do the things that I've written on my to-do list, I want to show you I've been working on the third level here, and it's very rough right now, but I've been working on the tile set, and kind of what I've got going on here is a cave. So originally I wanted this to be a kind of like void level where there were no edges, and then enemies could like fly out, you know, into the ether and come back. But I realized that wasn't going to work because I've got that rune right now, Ricochet, which causes bullets to bounce off of walls. And if there are no walls, then that rune becomes useless. And so I don't want to have a level that kind of invalidates some aspects of the game. So instead I changed it to a cave environment. I still have these holes in the ground here that are not navigable by the player, but bullets can fly over them. And I could also add some enemy types that can just pass right over these. So that's kind of the setup right now. Again, this is very rough. I still have a bunch of tile map work to do here. Improve the quality of these corners here. Add some decoration items on the ground. Improve the tile ability of these rocks here. But that's a general strategy. I may end up changing the shape of the level as well. But that's what I've got in progress. So I've been working on that off stream just because I'm like iterating, trying to figure things out as I go. And but yeah, hopefully by next week-ish we'll be, well, next week is Christmas like I said, but hopefully next week, starting sometime next week and the week after that, we'll be designing enemies for this room. And then also that includes 2 new bosses as well. Okay, let's get right into some bug fixing. Let's prevent or fix these. Let's prevent affixes from being moved on the stat screen. I think I decided that I want them to not be movable, and the reason is because I think that you should only be able to modify your guns at the weapon or the gun parts table. So let's go ahead and open up that player stats UI. And here, write assembled gun ingot. And I'm just looking here. So there are inventory slots that get created. So that would be in the assembled gun stats here. Would it be? Yeah, there's an inventory grid here. So the inventory grid exists on the assembled gun ingot here, and the inventory slot is by default draggable. So if I say get drag data here, that is just automatically being accepted. So I want to disable this, but I've got a number of layers to get through here to disable that. So I'm trying to think of the best way to do that. I think I'm just going to have to pass down a flag all the way down, which is not ideal, but I don't know how else to handle it. So what I'll do is I will I'll put an export variable here. Export public bool disable drag and drop. Or not public, we'll do private. Private bool disable drag and drop. That's an export property. Then what we'll do is we'll go to the assembled gun stats inventory grid. I'm going to say, let's see, set capacity. Where is this being set? So I'll set it in update inventory grid here. Yeah, so an update inventory grid. I'll put a flag in here. Inventory grid clear. Let's do this. Public void set disable drag and drop. Oops. What did I just do? Bool disabled private bool disable drag and drop. Disable drag and drop equals disabled, and then in here we're gonna have to set this to disabled as well. Public void, or let's do this, public, yeah, void set disable drag and drop. Private bool drag and drop disabled. Bool disabled. Drag and drop disabled equals disabled. Okay, so now in here, get drag data, I'm gonna say if drag and drop disabled or that. The cat is annoying me again. Let's hear. What are you doing? Stop. I'm streaming. Hello, Brett. How do you feel about the current state of C# and Godot? I keep debating using that since I use it at my day job. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of GDScript so far. Yeah, C# is fine. There are some limitations, like you can't export for web, but I think that's the major limitation. Everything else is perfectly fine. So yeah, I haven't found any situations where I'm like, ugh, this is really hard to do in C#. Like everything is basically, you know, apart from a couple of oddities and idiosyncrasies, it seems fine. So yeah, I would encourage you to use that if that's what you're comfortable with. Okay, so child.set drag and drop disabled. Why is this not working? Set disable drag and drop to disable drag and drop. So I'm passing this down to the children basically. Then in here, assembled gun stats dot inventory grid dot set disable drag and drop. So I'm just passing that through basically. Okay, so disable drag and drop there. So now if I build this, I should be able to just check that box there and we should be good to go. Now, let me try something. Debug console, add rune slot. Add slot. Okay, so I can just do add slot then? Okay. All right then. So disable drag and drop, disable drag and drop. We're gonna have to go into the game here. Actually, I'm gonna do this. Dungeon Arena. I need an easier way of setting these to debug mode, but that's all right. All right, let's go and test this out. And then I'm going to want to add tooltips as well. Can't export for web yet. Yeah, that's the keyword, right? It should be available at some point, but you're welcome, Brett. Hello, Ariane. Welcome back to the stream. Good to see you again. Okay. Add slot. Add rune fire. What? Does that just not work anymore? I'm sure it doesn't. Right. Okay, well, I changed so my debug doesn't work anymore. That's fine. We'll just go ahead and do add gold 1,000. Oh wait, I've got, how do I have 12 rune slots? But they're not appearing. There we go. Just force an update. Oh my gosh. Not that many, okay. I should force an update over there as well. There we go, okay. So now if I bring this up, I shouldn't be able to drag these and therefore not gonna have any problems. I should add another, add rune fire. Just drag this one over here just to make sure both are working. Cool. All right, so rune dragging has been disabled on this screen now. So that bug is now fixed. So we'll go ahead and commit that. Prevent rune dragging on player stats screen. All right, that's one part of that screen, but now we need to add a tooltip to that screen for those runes. So let's go ahead and just very easily do that. So let's say rune screen, rune unlock screen, affix unlock screen. So I've got an info panel container here. I'm just going to copy and paste this. I really should unify these, but whatever. Whatever. Let's see. Where do I want to put this? Just right there, I suppose. Is that going to render over everything by default? I think it should. I'm going to rename this to rune info panel container. Rune info. Well, let's just call it rune. Title label, rune description label. Cool. So I need to listen for those hovers now. Left assembled gun ingot dot inventory grid dot slot. I actually don't know how to do this. Gunforge UI, we'll have to look at this. What is going on over here? Inventory slot mouse exited. Okay. Inventory slot mouse entered plus equals something. Left assembled gun ingot dot inventory grid dot inventory slot mouse exited plus equals something. Inventory grid inventory slot mouse entered plus equals something. Okay, so I gotta figure out what to do with those. On inventory slot mouse entered, so I'm passing in the grid and the inventory slot. I might as well just copy these things. Oh my. And I'll just delete things as necessary here. Game UI grid. Inventory slot, okay. Player gun model manager. We don't need this stuff. Let's go ahead and do return there. Inventory tooltip set as affix. That's, yeah, I'm gonna Ooh, do I need an innate? I'm gonna need an innate tooltip here as well. I wonder if I do want to use the bigger inventory tooltip here. Inventory tooltip. It's got all of this stuff, but it also... I don't know. I don't know. Let's give it a try, I guess. Node, private inventory tooltip. That should free up a lot of things. I don't want to do this, any of that. Inventory tooltip clear, we can get rid of this. Player gun manager, bring this in. And then gun part, yeah. I think maybe that'll work. Let's see. Obviously I got to connect all this up, but debug the debug, yes indeed. I'm taking a game dev month vacation, working as a software developer on day and game dev on night, and also being a father was burning me out. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, cool. Yeah. Are you planning on doing anything specific, like a specific project for game dev month? Or are you just gonna kind of do a bunch of prototyping? Since I've only been teaching myself software development for 2 years and working professionally for 6 months, do you recommend any topics to start looking deeper into? I mean, there's a book, it's kind of fallen out of favor recently, but from my own experience, it helped me a lot. And I think it was a book recommendation given to me by a senior engineer that I was working on when I was, working with when I was pretty early into my career. And it's the classic book, Clean Code by Bob Martin. I know that, like I said, I think that book's fallen out of favor a little bit. And it's a little bit like, it's very highly opinionated, but I think the point of the book is not that you should follow it like dogmatically, but that it really shows you kind of general high-level guidelines on how to make your code cleaner and more readable. I think so anyway, you might want to look into that. I think one of the most impactful lessons that kind of came out of that for me is this general idea that your code should read like prose, that you should be able to read a code, a class top to bottom and basically understand what it's doing. I think that helps a lot, that kind of framing. Again, you want to be careful not to be too dogmatic about things, but like making sure your code is clean and readable enough to where you're not using comments, or at least very sparingly using comments, and also making sure that you yourself in the future and other developers can hop into the code that you wrote and basically immediately understand what's going on. You know, a lot of people have asked me specifically, like, how do you know where to change your code? And it's for two reasons. One, I've been doing this for a while, so I kind of know how I do things. But then number two is that when I hop into a class, I can pretty easily read it and understand what's going on because my variable names are clear. A lot of times, like, my variables are very verbose, and that's kind of a pain to type out when you're writing the code. But when you revisit the code after 3 months and you read it, it's like, oh, I know exactly what this variable is, right? So anyway, that's one thing that you can look into, clean code. Again, you don't want to take it too dogmatically because I think there's a sense in which you could go too far and like you go the other direction. You try to make your code so clean that it just becomes a mess. So it's all about finding the balance. And then of course, yeah, the software design patterns. So yeah, I mean, that would be my recommendation. I think honestly, like I'm not one of these people that's like, oh, like read this book and read that book and do this and do that. It's like a lot of this stuff just comes with experience. Like just you'll do something one way, you'll find out that it doesn't work. Then you learn about a software pattern. You're like, oh, I could have used that software pattern when I was doing this. And then maybe the next time you do something similar, you use that pattern. So yeah, I think it's a lot of it is practical experience. But yeah, those are my suggestions anyway. Okay, so now I need to get this working here. So let's see. On inventory slot, mouse entered. Dot inventory. Do I need this inventory grid? Yeah, I might as well pass it in, whatever. That works. Player gun manager. Dot gun slot. Dot left. Why is that? Oh, it's an inventory slot. Oh, does this come in here? Inventory slot. Right. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing here. Except this is going to be right assembled gun ingot. Okay, and then this is going to be on inventory slot, mouse exited. On inventory slot. Now, I need to make it so that that tooltip follows the mouse. How am I going to do that? I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy and paste. Hee hee. Okay, tooltip, inventory tooltip. Inventory tooltip. There we go. Okay. I need to do some work. I have my Godot utilities library. I would love to put like a constrain to window kind of method in there so I can just use that, but I don't have time to maintain all kinds of libraries in addition to doing what I'm doing here. Okay, so let's hide that inventory tooltip by default just to be safe. In case I leave it visible in the scene. Okay, let's go ahead and try this out. You're welcome, Brian. Going to JavaScript for 2 years to a statically typed language like C#. I'm loving it, but also feel like I'm learning so many things. Yeah. And then you could go back to JavaScript, except you use TypeScript this time. Actually, I used TypeScript basically exclusively when I was doing JavaScript work. Because it's just so nice to have your types in order. In my opinion, anyway. Okay, so we've got this working. This one is not working. Why is that? Why are you not working, sir? I don't have any errors. Left assembled gun ingot. Oh, mount. Oh. I did this wrong. Oops. That would explain why it wasn't working. Okay, let's try it again. Gluten Morgan. Welcome, Adaton. Good to see you, brother. Gluten Morgan. Okay. There we go. So now we've got the tooltips nice in order. And I'm pretty sure that's going to work for other tooltips, but we might as well do a thorough test. Gotta make sure to do our due diligence, I suppose. Oh, there's the popcorn receiver. Nice. Anyway, oops. There we go. Throw that fire on there. There we go. Throw that fire on there. Cool. And I just want to make sure this works too. Sends 2 bullets in random directions. Knockback is increased by 100%. Adds 1 fire stack to enemies. Ah, see? That's why we test things. Look, they've still got the drag indicator there. So I just need to hide that. Why is that being shown, though? That's an interesting thing. Set as affix. Left-click label text. Left click label dot visible is equal to not hide prompt. Okay. And then, so I just added a little Boolean flag there. Set is affix, and I can set true to hide that prompt. Okay, let's try that again. Hello, Vishal. Welcome back. Good to see you again. I can't stand non-statically typed languages. It just feels so chaotic. Yeah, it does. It does. What's really funny too is that, you know, with like VS Code as your IDE, like a lot of the, even the vanilla JavaScript functionality has like a TypeScript backing. So even if you're writing vanilla JavaScript in like an IDE like VS Code, it will still give you like the types and the method signatures or the function signatures and everything, even though you're ultimately just writing vanilla JavaScript. Now, obviously it can only take that so far. It can only like sort of implicitly determine the types when you're writing vanilla JavaScript to some extent, but I just think that's funny. It's like, oh, you thought you were writing vanilla JavaScript? Nope, I'm still going to tell you what the types are. Anyway. What's really annoying though is that, you know, you still have that whole transpilation step where you got to take the TypeScript and transpile it down to JavaScript during a build process. It would be nice if it was just like, you know, natively browser supported, but it's kind of like layers on top of layers on top of layers. Okay, anyway. When learning, I definitely could see the benefits, but I definitely see the problems with learning that way instead of learning with a statically typed language first. Yeah, I mean, there's a good reason why languages like Python are recommended for beginners, is because I do think personally that trying to learn a type system at the same time that you're trying to learn the general logic of programming it makes the learning curve a little bit too steep for some people. So I think getting a familiarity with the programming concepts first, like variables and methods. This is so dumb. Getting a concept first of variables and methods and classes before you have to worry about types necessarily, it's probably a little bit easier. I gotta go hide that icon. What is this? Texture rect. Let's left click icon. Wait, info preview container. Wait a minute. Oh, I can just hide that. Hide left. Oh, I could just have done that all this time. Okay. I should probably check what's available. Okay. Set is affix, inventory tool tip, hide left click prompt. That's all I needed to do this whole time. Okay. Final test. I have a streaming question. How do you get the questions or comments from the chat and display them in the center of the screen? That's really cool. Yeah, it's like a little third-party tool called Social Stream. What it basically does is it listens to the YouTube live chat somehow. I don't know how, but it listens to the YouTube live chat, and then it provides a URL that you can use as a browser source. And so I basically just have a browser source in OBS that is just called like the featured chat or whatever. And then I have a browser doc in OBS where all the comments come through, and then all I need to do is click on the comment, and then this web page highlights the comment for me as an overlay on the video. So it's pretty nice. It took me forever to find out how to do that too. There's not a whole lot of good information on like these more complicated stream setups. but hopefully that helps. I started with C, so you even have the pointers to make everything more crazy. Yeah, that's a lot. Morning. What are you eating today? What am I eating today? Good morning, Featrix. I don't know what I'm eating today. All right, let's see. Add rune fire. Okay. Okay, there we go. Finally. Cool. Okay, that's good. We'll call that done. Add tooltips to runes in player stat screen. Okay, boom. All right, so oddly shaped guns like dragon receiver barrels, that's an interesting one. Let's take care of this heal button disappearing in the shop. So let's do this. I wonder if I can just go to shop UI, heal button. Update player gold. Why is that there? Set heal cost. If player is damaged and not has healed, set heal cost. Okay. Trying to see if I can figure out what is causing this. So basically what happens is as soon as I click heal on the shop UI, the button disappears, but I don't want that to happen. I only want it to not appear if I revisit the shop. On interacted. Yeah, let's just go ahead and test this. So random encounter handler. Where's the shop? Bump this up. Starting with C is a bit hardcore, yeah, for sure. Thank you for answering my question. You're welcome. To be honest, I was concerned you were just going to say something like, I made it, of course. What did you think we do here? No, I mean, I did make some elements of my stream, like the scrolling background and the banners that pop up, like the one that's right up there to tell you to buy my course. But I didn't make like the chat or anything. I don't have time for that. But it's really cool. Like if you learn a little bit of like web development, you can add all kinds of cool stuff to your OBS overlay. I think it's really nice. That browser source feature is very, very handy. Okay. What happened there? Oh, that's not good. Why is that disappearing? That's really weird. That's really weird. I guess I can heal button pressed. Oops. Shop UI. Oh. Maybe because hide heal is being called there. Interesting. Okay, I think that's probably why. All right, let's go ahead and try that again. There's a lot of space between these items here. B-box container. Let's do 8 instead. Okay. All right. Oh, I have to kill, or not kill myself, but I have to damage myself. There we go. Why was that being so weird before? I don't know. Anyway, heal. And it's not being disabled. Why not? I think I just need to set this has healed here. Actually, I don't think I even need to do that. I think I can do heal button dot disabled equals true. Yeah. Okay, let's try again. Gotta go through multiple iterations of this. Can't get it right the first time, I suppose. This is concerning me. Might need to change where those chains are going. They end up getting pushed down the screen. I don't know why. Why do those get pushed down the screen? Can I add like a sprite here to figure out where it's at? Sprite. Or what is this? Spring? What is that? Anyway. Yeah, it thinks the marker is down there. Why did the marker 2D end up down there? That's very interesting. That should not have happened. Oh, interesting. It does push it down. Why does it push it down? It must be an offset. Yeah, it's an offset from the top. Okay, I just need to change how those markers are positioned then. So that'll be another bug that we have to fix. But anyway, let's see if this works. Boom, heal. That works. And then if I open it again, that heal button goes away because I've already healed. So that should be good. All right, let's fix this issue now. So I think these markers here, these need to be... like probably just like an HBox container. Let me think. HBox container with a couple of control nodes underneath it. This HBox container, we're going to change this layout to fill and shrink end, so it's at the very end there. Control 1, Control 2. These markers need to have their transforms reset. like so. And then we need to set this to be, these controls need to be expanded, I think. Container sizing, expand. I guess only one of them needs to be expanded. So basically what I've done is, instead of the markers just being situated somewhere within the panel here, they're now going to be forced with the flow options to the bottom, no matter what the size is. So now if I add an extra row here, you can see that those positions of those marker 2Ds have not changed. So there was just something weird about how the positioning was working. I guess it makes sense, because the position was an offset from the top, and if the top is moving down, then the rest of it moves down. So that's fine. That's just a very simple fix, and just for safety purposes, I'm just going to set mouse to ignore there, so nothing weird happens. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's going to fix that, but I guess we might as well test it. Do you have a particle system VFX that depends on velocity? For example, higher speed generates more particles and no particles when stationary. I don't have that, no. I kind of like fake it in a couple places. But yeah, modifying particles at runtime is a little bit, well, it's not very difficult, but it's kind of annoying in Godot. I've never really found like a great way to do it, but. All right, perfect. That looks like it's been fixed relatively easily. I think I do want to move that left chain over though, which should be relatively simple. I can just take this here and change the position. I can just move it over by 4. Does that update in real time? It does, look at that. So now it looks a little bit more even. So that X value shouldn't really matter that much. It's just going to be 4 offset from its control parent. Okay, so let's go ahead and commit those things and revert that encounter change. Fix shop heal button disappearing. It's always good to get bugs done. Kind of monotonous, but that's what we got to do. Bullet split. Let's do this one. We'll just go in order. Oddly shaped guns like Dragon Receiver, Barrel, and Worm Magazine don't sit in assembled gun drop area properly. So what that means basically is that when I go into the game here, if I say gun dragon left, you can see how it's not sitting inside of the properly, inside of the gun assemble, like the art preview, I guess you could call it. And I don't know why that is, so we're going to figure that out. So there's this assembled gun drop area, assembled gun rect, banana receiver, size container. Okay, so let's figure out what this is doing. Does this work? If I add... Oh, look at that, it does work. I have a tool script that handles this, okay. So I can actually just test this right in the editor then. So what exactly is happening here? The size container looks correct. I think the assembled gun just needs to be brought down within the size container properly. So it's properly creating a bounding rect. So the idea is that I basically calculate the bounding rect of the assembled gun, and then I change this control node to have the custom minimum size or the proper size related to that bounding rect. And then that's how I can properly situate it within the UI based on what the nodes look like, the 2D nodes look like. But for some reason it's being like centered like that. I think it has to do with the magazine maybe. Let's take a look at what this is doing. Okay, so custom minimum size, assembled gun, receiver. Oh, it's only taking the receiver sprite offset. Why is it doing that? Assembled gun dot position. Right, okay, so there's a little bit of a tricky thing going on here. It's setting the assembled gun position equal to the sprite offset. But what I need to do is I actually need to center the sprite inside of it. Oh, that's interesting. What happens if I set this to 0, 0? Yeah, it's not being centered around. Yeah, okay. Interesting. So the gun is not being centered around any particular point in general. It's being centered around the receiver's position, which is a little bit tricksy. So this might actually take a little bit of work to figure out, because this is where the receiver's origin is, and that's where everything's being related around. But then I need to situate it so that it's sitting within the center of the area here. What is the best way to handle this? I think I need to reorient the position of everything to a more sensible offset and whatnot. So position 9, if I set this to 0, 0, what I want to do probably is offset everything by... So if I set this, what did I say it was? 5 and 9? That's not going to work either. Oh, this is going to be tricky. Okay. Okay. Random thoughts. Do you generally not swear, or is it because you want to keep this stream kids friendly? I mean, I don't swear a whole lot. In very specific instances, I will. But yeah, I mean, I think I generally want to keep my YouTube channel more like professional-ish. So, yeah. It's not necessarily that I want this to be kids friendly. It's just, I think it's just more professional to refrain from doing so. Is the art something you do or did you find already have someone do that for you? I've done all the art in this game. Yeah. Everything in the game was done by my hand. Yes. Junk Q Boy? That's a fun name. Welcome to the stream. We gotta find out how to center this. So I think the fundamental thing that I need to do is I've got this total texture size here. And what this is doing is this is assembling a rectangle, and it's getting the texture rect, which is a rectangle representing the position plus the offset and then the size of the texture. I mean, is it as simple as taking that rectangle, dividing by 2, and then offsetting it? I don't think so. Well, let's see. If I took 33, let's just call it 34. So I've got 17 by 9. So what I would do, let's say if I took this assembled gun, I set this position to 0, 0, and then I said, let's do 17 and 9. So that centers it there. But then each of these things would need to be offset somehow. So if I look at the, what was it? If I do -5, yeah, I guess I don't know where to get the proper numbers that I need here. I mean, I have the rectangle, obviously. It's just a matter of... how do I get these nodes inside to be fitted to that rectangle? Well, I guess we'll be stumped on this one for the next hour. Come along the journey with me while I try to figure this out. I mean, I think obviously I need to offset everything. I think I should start with the assumption that I'm not going to offset the assembled gun like this. So we've got this position. If we've got the rect, let's see. Return rect.size. Where am I using this? Is it only in that place? Yeah. So get total texture rect 2 get total texture rect dot size. I'm gonna print this, and I'm just curious to see if this is gonna give me some information that's actually useful. Or actually, I don't want to do that. gd.print. All right, let's go ahead and build this. The good thing is that this is a tool script, so I don't need to run the game every time I want to test this out. Okay, so we've got a couple of things. So this is the rect size, -9, -12, and then this is the size. So this is the position. Interesting. Okay, so if I do that, if I reset this position and I say 9 and 12, oh, there we go. Look at that. So I think I can just use this position of the rectangle here as the offset. So assembled gun.position is equal to rect.position. Let's see. Rect.position. Okay. Yeah, this should work. So we'll do rect.size. And I don't need to do any of that. Okay. Let's see if that works. Build that. Art is by far the most challenging part of game dev. Props to anyone with that talent. Yeah, it certainly is in my experience. I mean, I guess it depends, right? If you're a, sort of a natural artist, then maybe the programming is the hardest part. But for me, it's certainly the case that the art is the hardest part. Hey, there we go. Did it work? Let me just test it out. I mean, it seems to have worked, but I'm just gonna muddle this up here. And then I do force update. Boom. Look at that. Okay, it's gonna look bad in the UI here. I'm actually just gonna go back to what I had. The banana receiver. I'm just gonna put that back. Force update. There we go. Okay. Just put it back because that's the way the UI was before. But now if I run the game, that should be nice and centered now within those areas. Gun, dragon, left. There we go. Look at that. Nice and centered. Gun, popcorn, right. Look at that. Beautiful. All right. I think we can call that a success then. Another bug down. We'll delete that to do. Why not? Update or fix assembled gun rect positioning. Okay, that didn't end up taking as much time as I was fearing it would. All right, let's fix the skeleton snake now. So the problem with the skeleton snake is he's making use of a bunch of individual hurt box components, where elsewhere in the code I'm making the assumption that each entity only has one hurt box component, which probably is not an assumption that I should have made, but since that has so infected the code, I don't want to rework it. So let's go to the skeleton snake here. And essentially what I'm going to do is I've got all these individual hurt box components here. What I need to do instead is I need to add a single hurt box component. So let's do this. Hurt box component here. And I need to hook up the health component. We'll just put it here. Nope, we can't put it there. You know what? I don't think any of these are going to work, actually. Okay. I need to move all these out. That should be fine. It doesn't matter. The skeleton snake is Y sorted, so that's creating some weirdness, but nothing compared to the weirdness that will be created by not having these at the root or just under the root level. Okay, so hurt box component, let's do this. Health component, status receiver component, get those hooked up, and then let's create, I believe all of these are the same collision shape. They're all 12, so whoops. Okay, so now I just need to add remote transform 2D to all these. This needs to point to, so I'm just adding a bunch of collision shapes under that hurt box component, and then I'll use the remote transform 2D to match each collision shape up to each body segment, because all the body segments move independently. But I instead of nesting that collision shape underneath the body segment so that it inherits its transform, I'll use a remote transform 2D to transform it at this level of the tree so that everything stays nice and nested under the hurt box component. And this is actually, I think, going to simplify things quite a bit, because I can get rid of this now and I can say update position and rotation and scale. I don't want to update scale. You're not supposed to scale collision shapes, I think, but position and rotation for sure. And I don't think I'm applying a scale to the snake ever anyway, so it wouldn't matter, but it's good to do that. So, okay, so now I've got this remote transform 2D. So what I can do is I can just duplicate it, drop it under the next one, delete this, change this to point to 2D2, and so on and so forth. So this is going to be a little bit tedious, but it has to be done. Again, I probably could have made these all like their own individual scripted parts so that I don't have to do this kind of duplication, but it's one of those deals where it's like, it's going to take just as much, if not more time to write that code than to just set it up through the editor, so. Okay. All right. Okay, now we can test it. So I'm going to turn on visible collision shapes. That was a very complicated boss. To just every little bit of it was complicated. Spawn, skeleton, snake. Spawn, skeleton, snake. Okay, so it looks like the collision shapes are all matching to up to all the body segments, so that's good. Ooh. That snake is pretty cool if you ask me. Little cannon goblins, I love them. Oh. A snake almost works better on the dungeon level, but that's all right. Dang, that's a pretty cool boss. That's a pretty cool boss, if you would don't mind me saying. I'm actually gonna spawn it in again and just see what it looks like without all that visual noise. Pretty dope. Oof. No, I'm gonna die. Oh, I think the snake is gonna be really hard. I was like, I should have died right there. What happened? I'm invulnerable during the intermission period between the waves. I think I've mentioned that before. Basically, you gain invulnerability as soon as you kill the last enemy. And the reason for that is because I don't want the player to finish a wave and then to get killed by like a straggling enemy attack, you know? Like, oh, you kill the last enemy, but then like a half a second later you get hit by a bullet that's long-lived. Previously, I was just destroying the bullets, but that was creating a lot of code complexity, so I keep the bullets and I just make the player invulnerable. Just let everything die naturally so I don't have to do all this extra bookkeeping to figure out like which enemy created which bullets and attacks and like make sure to free them when the enemy dies. It's just a lot of effort and there's a lot that can go wrong, so invulnerability is easier. Boom. Goodbye, snake. Yeah, I like that boss. Anyway, so fascinating to see the content added only in last month. Yeah, it's like I said, I'm in full content development mode right now, and it's like I said, I would love to get this out by the end of January, but probably looking like it's going to be end of February. The other thing is like the game will probably be feature complete by the end of January. I'm pretty confident in that, but I also need to give it some time so that I can like reach out to content creators too, so that they can preview the games on their channels, you know, do a sort of review of it. So I want to like reach out to a bunch of YouTubers and streamers and stuff, and I just need time to do that before the game officially releases to generate some more wishlist hype and whatnot. So I think my plan currently is to have the game feature complete by January. Like I could release the game at the end of January if I wanted, but then I want to take February to like do like some serious marketing efforts and reach out to a bunch of people, send out keys and all that stuff. So that's my plan currently. But like I said, everything's up in the air. Everything's up in the air. I got to update the demo with some of the new gameplay changes that have happened as well. So fix snake issues. But yeah, it's so unreal how close Gunforged is to being done, because it's been like on my plate for like 4 years now, in some way or another. It's been revived and killed multiple times in that 4 years. And so having it finally in a state where it's like it's almost done is a wonderful feeling. And then I can move on to some other exciting games I want to make. Is there a total playtime you are aiming for? I mean, time to finish the game, replayability aside. I would be happy if most people get like 5 to 10 hours of playtime out of the game. Obviously, if you really like the game, you know, it's like you can play it as many times as you want. But in terms of like beating the game and unlocking everything, like I think anywhere from 5 to 10 hours is what I'm expecting. So yeah, hopefully closer to 10 hours, but you know, we'll see. I have to do some playtesting. Looking for a 1.12. There might be a 1.1 version. We'll see. It all depends on how well the game is received. If the game is very popular, then I'll probably add some more stuff to it. Controller support and things like that, but I really like the way that the snake thing moves. Yeah, me too. I finally got it working. Thank you, Madface. Pixel art looks dope. Thank you. I started watching more of the C# course, but what I ended up doing was just pulling down the final stage code and poking around while listening along. Perfectly valid, you know. If that's what you want to do with the course, then yeah, that's why I uploaded the code. Are you also featuring your game on Game Awards by Stay at Home Dev? I think he has featured my game before, like a year or two ago. But I could reach out to him as well and see if he wants to feature it. Not for the Game Awards, though. I think that's probably already pretty far along, if not almost done, right? I also work on my pixel art soccer game. It's not easy working alone to stay focused. Yeah. He has featured it. Do you remember when? Was that like a while ago or recently? Or unless that's a response to something else unrelated. I don't know. Okay, well, I got through all the bugs that I want to get through. It was a random old episode that popped up. I see. Yeah, that's what I figured. So I think it was a while ago. No, no need to look. That's fine. I'm just wondering, like, if he recently featured it, because I haven't been checking up on his videos to see. I haven't communicated with him, but I don't think when he featured Gunforge the first time, I don't think that I ever reached out to him. I think he just found it and chose to feature it, which is great. Much appreciated, but yeah, I didn't communicate with him at all for that. Okay, I want to work on this one. This one's been in the to-do list for a while, and I think it'll be really interesting for stamina to be used as health. This is going to require some tweaking of a lot of the things that I've got in place. A little bit of a... I basically need a health interface for the player that can, in the back end, either use the stamina or the actual health as health. But that's going to require some rework and stuff. So, but I do want to do this passive, so that's what we're going to do. But I'm going to take a quick 2-minute break first, get a refill on my drink, all that good stuff. And then when I come back, we're going to attempt to do this since we got through all the bugs. So while I'm on my little 2-minute break, again, I've got the links for all the ways you can support me in the description below. I've got my Udemy courses available for sale if you'd like to learn how to build a complete game in the Godot engine. Also, the Steam link for Gunforged is at the top of the description, so definitely check that out, wishlist it if you're interested. You can also play the demo that's currently available, which is not entirely representative of the current version of the game, but it's pretty well representative. And also, yeah, I mean, everything else is in the description below. So I'll be right back in 2 minutes, and when I come back, we'll continue with this stamina is used as health passive. Alrighty, I'm back. Let's go ahead and get started on this. So the idea behind this passive is that stamina is going to be used as health. So this is basically turning your stamina bar into your health bar. And max health will be set to 0. So you'll still have a max health sort of number, but it'll be set to 0. So the idea being here that, you know, you could pair this with the Berserk passive, so you could stack a bunch of health, get Berserk, and then use stamina as your health. And that's just, I don't know, it's just a very interesting thing, and I don't know how well this is going to go, but we're going to find out. So let's go ahead and see. So let's go to the player. And basically what I need to do is I'm exposing this health component, and this is being used all over the place. Beefy passive, max health. So yeah, the thing is, basically all the places that are referencing this player health component, I actually think I need something more of like a health manager or something like that. Because I need to dynamically determine whether to take the damage from the stamina or whether to take it from the actual health component. Okay, let's go ahead and create that. So I've got this gun model manager here. I'm going to create a new scene, sort of in the same spot. So in manager, let's create a node, health manager. Player health manager. Then we're going to go ahead and, yeah, we're going to have to figure some things out here. This is going to be a little bit tricksy, but I do think that we're going to want to internally maintain a health component here. And suppress damage float. Okay. So we're going to want to internally maintain a health component. Game.manager. Okay. And then we'll just get a reference to that health component. Cool. All right. So we've got that. So now I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rename this to health manager. Player health manager. Health manager. And then we're just going to fix all the places where this is broken. We're going to get it working with just the plain old health component first. And then since we're introducing this middleman now, this health manager, it should be relatively easy to use that as a sort of interface and for everything to get current health information from. But then where that information is coming from is going to vary. It's either going to come from the internally managed health component or it will come from the stamina. So, but we got to figure out all the places where this is broken and fix that. So health component dot damage 1. So this needs to become health manager dot damage. And I'm just going to go ahead and create public void damage float damage. And we're just going to pass that along. Like I said, we're just going to get this working. We need an is damaged. Public bool is damaged. Return that. So this is going to become health manager. Is damaged. Okay, we're connecting to a couple of things in here. So this all needs to become health manager. Do I want to connect to health changed? Let's see. Silently set max health. Do I want, yeah, I need a died signal for sure. So this is basically going to have kind of the same shape as the health component, but let's see, public, delicate, void, died, event, handler. And we're going to have to connect to a bunch of things in here. So to start, let's do public override void ready health component dot died plus equals on health component died. Okay, so we've got that signal in place now. So if I do health manager signal name dot died. Why is that not working? Oh, player health manager. On health changed. We'll probably just forward that signal. Let's just forward that signal for now. Oops, this can be health component. Okay, so now I can do this. Health component dot health changed plus equals on health changed. Grab that health update, and then again, we'll just forward that for now. Signal name dot health changed. Okay. Silently set max health. I might as well just create that as well. Public void silently set max health. Float health component dot silently set max health. So again, just forwarding everything. Public float get max health. Return health component dot max health. So again, this is an interface. So when I switch to using stamina for health, basically all of these methods are going to contain branching logic then, where it says, okay, if I have the passive, then all these numbers are going to change, or what's being returned is going to change. Okay, so I think that's it for there. Let's go ahead and do this. Health manager, I need to do .heal. So let's create a heal. Public float, or public void heal float amount health component dot heal amount. So in the shop keep health manager heal 1, perfect. All right, so that's working good. Hello, Pixel Porridge. I learned so much from your vids, and I just wanted to say thank you for the peak content. You're welcome. Thank you for your message. I've been loving the Gunforge deep dives as well. Awesome. I'm glad you're liking those. Yeah, a lot of people seem to like those. It's a little bit more niche content. Those videos don't get as much views, but I think people really enjoy them. So I'll probably continue to do those. Maybe I'll do another deep dive for one of the new bosses that I make, or maybe a different system. But yeah, I'm glad you're liking those. All right, so let's see. I guess we'll just figure out where all the errors are now. Let's allow the game to reveal all of the errors. Okay. Heart sacrifice. Public void set max health. Float max health. Health component dot set max health. Okay, heart sacrifice, perfect. And this is the player health manager. Okay, and then this one, health manager. Get max health. On interacted. Oh, interesting. Okay, that should never happen, but oh well. This is the player notifications manager. Health changed, health update. Yeah, this is going to be a little bit tricky, I think. But we're going to march forward anyway. I fixed that instance, okay. Health manager.heal. Random encounter. Yeah, there's a couple of questions here. So if I'm using stamina as my health, do I want the heart sacrifice to function the same way? Yeah, I think so. Anyway, player health manager. Public float. Get max health. Health component. Dot max health. Or get current health. Okay. I'm really hoping that all of these changes are basically just going to work, at least for the health case, and then I can start building into it. Oh wait, there was some place that I changed. This needs to be player health manager dot signal name. Okay. Got to make sure to, I mean, it's going to be ultimately the same string name, but I got to make sure I'm referencing that correctly. Health manager connect. This is the player UI, so on health changed. Okay. So this health update is going to need to be, yeah, I guess I'll need to basically duplicate this, but for the stamina. Well, one thing at a time. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Deep dive into the state machine, yeah. That's right, I have to do that. Okay, so this one... This one actually doesn't, I don't want this one to change. I'm going to call this actual health changed event handler. Health component dot health update. Health update. And it's going to be the same thing here, but I just want to make sure that I'm referring to the differentiation of signals, because this health changed is going to be emitted whether you're using stamina as health or whether you're using health as health. But then I need to notify when the actual health is changing as well for the purposes of showing the hearts, for instance, over the player. So this player UI, is that where I need to go? Right. This player resource UI here, this is going to be actual health changed on actual health changed. Okay. I think that's all going to be all right. I don't know. Like I said, we're going to have to see. Health manager, get max health. Health manager. Okay. Moving along. We're almost done with all these fixes, I think. Actually, let's just build it again and just whittle down that list, I guess. Oh no, so this needs to be, yeah, this needs to actually, this here, yeah, set max health, wherever this is being called. This should actually be something like, Like set actual max health. So I'm just setting this up again correctly. Get actual max health. So anything that revolves around increasing the max health. I mean, do I want to do that? I don't know. Yeah, I think so. I think so. So when I do the heart sacrifice, I want to do set actual max health. Get actual max health. And then in the random encounter handler component, public float get actual current health. Okay, all right. Missing health damage passive, yeah, so this is going to be get actual max health minus player.healthmanager.get actual current health. Because I still want to maintain the health, so like if you're using your stamina as health, I still want you to be able to increase the amount of hearts that you have, because that will work with this missing health damage passive. So the idea is basically like your health is going to get set to 0, and your stamina is going to start being used as health, but you can still increase your max actual health for the purposes of buffing yourself if you want, but your health is just basically going to be fixed at 0, I think. Hello, old Rod KS. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, we're doing human sacrifices today in Gunforged. Anyway, all right, so let's do this build. Well, here's what I'm gonna do. I also need to remove the health component from here and add that health manager. Put it up here. Okay, let's see. I'm just going to verify that this is all still working as I expect. Okay, that works. Oh. Okay, that works. I'm just going to try adding some passives here. Add passive glass cannon. Okay, that worked. Add passive beefy. That worked. Okay. Now I should make sure that I can still spawn rat. Okay, that works. Add passive, what is it called? Increasing damage? No. Missing health damage? Yeah. So wait, let's see. 6, okay, so add passive missing health damage. So we should see an increase of to 10, right? Oh, 9. Yeah, I mean, I think that's just a rounding issue. Okay, so that's still working. Okay, all that seems to be working. So I think I've pretty much done a pretty transparent, like, switch to that interface for all the player things. So now what I can do is I can start using the stamina as health now and see how that all goes. I'm going to make a new branch for this. Okay. Create player health manager. So now let's see if we can get this working. Okay, let's create a passive resource. We're going to call this stamina as health. We need a good name for this, but I'm going to turn down the loot weight of this. Feature tags. Let's put this as evasion. Max stacks is 1. Cooldown time 0. Just put an X in there for now. Stamina. Set health to 0. Stamina is used as health instead and regenerates 50% slower. Getting hit when at 0 stamina will kill you. I don't know. I'm going to work on that a little bit, that verbiage there, but that's basically the idea. So now we need all these things to happen. So let's go ahead and create a new scene. Other node. I'm going to call this stamina as health passive. Not with 2 E's, just with 1. Scenes. Component passive, stamina as health passive. Add a script to this. Create game.component.passive. Player passive. Cool. Okay. We've got our player passive here. So now, public override void ready. This dot get player dot health manager dot set actual. I want to do set actual current health. So let's go into that. So let's do this. Public void set use stamina as health. So we'll have a method in there. Public void set actual health. Actual current health. Float 0. Float 0. What am I doing? Float amount. Health component dot current health is equal to amount. Can I not set that? Oh, do I have to do... So we got that. Set stamina as health. Okay, so private bool use stamina as health. Okay, so that's going to be the kind of the crux of this. Now I do want to do an export private player dash manager because we want to get that hooked up. And then here we're going to say set actual current health 0. But first, let's get a reference to that health manager. This.getPlayer.health manager. Okay. Health manager dot set use stamina as health. We're going to set the actual current health. Health manager dot set max health. Actually, I wonder if I should just do that all in here, where I set health component dot set current health to 0. Yeah, I mean, I guess I could do that. Maybe I should do that instead. That might actually be better. So set use stamina as health, because then I can do this. I can do... Yeah, I mean, this is going to be where I have to go in and try all this out, so I don't want to emit this health changed event handler here, or the health changed handler. So here, this is on, so I'm going to change this to on actual health changed. Actual health changed. And what I'm going to do is this health changed update here, if not use stamina as health, that's where it's going to be emitted. Otherwise, I need to hook up to the dash manager. So dash manager dot, and these are going to be where I construct my own little health updates. Dashed event handler, current dash is updated, max dash is updated, was consumed, cooldown left, percent finished. Okay. So yeah, I'm basically gonna need to hook all this up, but hello, what's up? Currently learning some algebra right now. Any tips? I don't know. It's been a long time since I've learned any algebra. I mean, probably the best tip is just like, I don't know. Just like the best tip with anything is that you just have to sit down and do it. So I mean, you might even be able to ask, maybe not ChatGPT, but maybe some AI, like for example problems that you can solve. The reason I say maybe not ChatGPT is because it might hallucinate and give you the wrong answer and drive you crazy because of that. But I'm sure there's all kinds of like really useful tools online for learning it. So I would say learn online, find a bunch of practice problems, and try to do them. It'd be better to call the function set current health instead of set actual. What do you think? No, because actual means the health of the health component, because the whole purpose of this health manager here is that it can transparently either use stamina as health or the health component health as health. But there are situations where I need to actually change the health of the health component, even if I'm using the stamina as health. So that's where the actual keyword comes in. Actual means, no, set the underlying health component's health. I do have, like you said, set current health or get current health here, but this is going to return a variable value based on whether we're using stamina as health or whether we're using, Actually, is that not being used anywhere? Or is it because I just made an error there? Final references. Yeah, get current health is not being used anywhere, so that's good. Get actual current health is, though. Yeah. Anyway. Hello, Cami. Welcome back. Do you have any suggestions how to get better at game programming? I'm starting to learn programming patterns right now, but I could use guidance on getting better. Yeah. Get better at game programming. Yeah, so I think the best way to do it is just to try to make something that you want to make. Try to identify something that you want to make that you think is within your capabilities, and then just set out and try to make it. And what you're going to do is you're probably going to make mistakes. You're probably going to do things in unoptimal ways, and you're probably going to do things that are a little bit janky. But I think that's a necessary part of learning how to do the game, how to do game development stuff, is that you'll kind of naturally find out, you know, what works and what doesn't based on that. So, yeah, I think just find something small that you think you can accomplish and then try to accomplish it and just work through any problems that you come across. And yeah. I know that's very basic advice, but I think, I honestly think that's the best way to do it. Okay, so where was I at here? Right, I want to start hooking into the dash manager here. So let's start with the damage. So if I look at my dash manager, I've got current dashes here. Use dash. I don't know if I want to do that. Set current dashes. I could do that instead. If dash manager dot current dashes is equal to 0, then we're going to do die. Else dash manager dot set current dashes set current. Why can't I set current dashes? Hello? Oh, it's private. Is there going to be a problem with me making this public? Let's find out. Because I don't want this dashed signal to be emitted for, I think, obvious reasons here. Because that will trigger a bunch of the on dash effects. So I'm curious to see now, if I build this, I should be at least taking damage. I should be able to die. Hit audio component? Oh. Okay, I'm gonna need to fix that as well. Yeah, a lot of things are breaking here, but that's alright. I probably just need to wire this up myself through the script. Anyway, let's not worry about that right now. Health manager, we're gonna assign the dash manager there, and let's go ahead and run it. We'll see what's going on. Okay, add passive stamina as health. Oh, I died. Okay, that's immediately wrong. So, why is that not working? Shouldn't be emitting that died signal at all. Set current health. We're going to get this on health component died. Oh, yeah. Try it again. This is getting very hairy. We'll see. We'll see how it works out. If I can get through a lot of the issues and be fairly confident that it's working properly. But I might end up cutting this from the game if it's going to be a little bit difficult. Okay, here we go. Okay, so what I should see is that if the rat shoots me, my stamina will go away. Yep. And then if the rat shoots me again while I have no stamina. Okay, interesting. So that stamina didn't regenerate for some reason. It didn't give me back a stamina after the cooldown. Why would that happen? Probably because it didn't start the cooldown timer. On cooldown timeout, yeah. Uh-huh. Okay, I'm gonna change this back to private. I'm going to force set current dashes. Int amount. I'm going to do this. Okay. A little bit wonky, but okay. Spawn rat. Okay, that worked fine. Okay, my stamina came back. And it works, look at that. So the damage is working great. So that's one big piece of the puzzle. When I dash, obviously it uses a dash, and when I get hit, it uses a hit. Now the thing is, what I'm going to want to do is send a health update as well when that happens. I'm curious to see what happens. Health globe. Oh wait, I didn't do this. So if I do, let's see, heal, health manager heal in here, if use stamina as health, or if not use stamina as health, we're going to do health component dot heal. Else, we're going to say dash manager dot force set current dashes +1. Now, is this going to... It's going to clamp it between, yeah, min and max. Okay. So, now the heal should work. Now, what's really interesting is that should also work from my debug menu. So when I say add health 1, so let's do this. Stamina as health. Add health -1. Oh, add health 1. Okay, I think that's working. I don't have support for stamina. Add passive increase stamina. What is it called? Max stamina. So that'll add, so now I've got 2 health. And if I use 1 and then I say add health 1, that will give me another dash there. Now the cooldown, yeah, that's the problem. Any existing cooldown is not going to be undone. So I just need to stop the cooldown timer here. Okay. I think this is looking good. I don't think it's going to be that difficult to get to work. I'm just going to need to be really careful about it. Okay. that seems to be working great. So now let's spawn a rat. Let's spawn 2 rats. Nice, okay. That seems to be working pretty good. This will be a really interesting addition to the game, I think. So I'm pretty determined to get this working, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Okay, well, that's going to be it for the stream today. I'm getting hungry, so it's time for lunch. But again, if you'd like to support my work, please check out the links in the description below. I've got my Udemy courses available for sale. It's a great way to support me, and it's a great way to learn how to make a game in the Godot engine. Also, you can wishlist Gunforged on Steam. The link for that is in the description below as well. And before I go, one suggestion from my perspective is avoid using if-else if you later add more passive. I don't foresee that being the case, but yeah, I mean, yeah, if-else, if I had other things that would change how the player health works, then I would use if-else, but I'm not expecting that to happen, so should be fine for now. But anyway, thanks again, everyone, for being here. Thank you for your comments and suggestions and just for generally chatting and hanging out. And I will see you in the next stream. Maybe over the weekend, maybe not, we'll see. But I'll be streaming maybe a couple of days next week, excluding Christmas, obviously. So anyway, take care, everyone, and I will see you in the next one.